Ukraine, Trump, Putin, and Zelensky saga as it continues on. A lot of people are very upset that there might be some peace talks happening. And Donald Trump called Vladimir Zelensky a dictator without elections. And Piers Morgan had this to say. He's a big fan of Vladimir Zelensky. He loves him. Went on Charles's favorite show, Tucker Carlson, and very vehemently defended him. He said, Vladimir Zelensky is not a dictator. Vladimir Putin is a dictator. Zelensky didn't start the war in Ukraine. Putin did. Hope this clarifies things for anyone who is confused. I'm a little confused. Is he saying that Vladimir Zelensky is not a dictator? Putin is only dictators can start wars. Like once you start a war, you're the dictator and not the like. What's the relevance here?
I mean, you know what he's saying.
Oh, I struck a nerve.
There's nothing more to it. It's very surface level. There's nothing.
Is it though? Because I mean, when you listen to Piers Morgan talk about this, he's very clear. Putin started this war, and he's the dictator, and that's one of the reasons why he's a dictator.
So
I don't think that it's it's not only dictators that start wars. Is what I'm saying.
Oh yeah, I don't think he's implying that.
I think he is implying that. I think that that's Piers Morgan's game, and he
dictator is
out of American politics.
Dictator is defined as a ruler with total power over a country, typically one who has obtained control by force. So, can they both be dictators?
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, didn't Zelensky cancel? So we've established Putin is a dictator. Okay, moving on. Can Zelensky be a dictator too? Well, he canceled elections. He cracked down on press that was critical of him. I mean, he's putting people in prison. I mean, I would say probably that qualifies under dictator.
Yeah.
But all of that stuff's kind of just semantics, isn't it? Like, haven't we been slowly limping towards a peace deal for the last 3 years or something? I mean, I was looking at my old tweets about it, because I like to look through my old Twitter. I was among many people who in 2021 were like, this is a waste of money, a waste of people's lives, a waste of time. Russia has Ukraine outmanned. They're too big. Why are we fighting this war? And some people were very interested in seeing it continue, and some still are. But I think this is good that it's going to come to an end. And
you were very often called a Putin puppet.
I was.
This is what Senator Bernie Sanders has to say about this.
Thanks, everybody, for joining me to discuss a very, very serious issue.
How old is this guy? He's very old. Old enough. Excellent. Thank you, Charles.
Yesterday, we witnessed an extremely sad moment in American history. We saw the President of the United States aligning himself with the dictator of Russia, Vladimir Putin, to undermine the independence of Ukraine and its democracy.
Well, I think Victoria Nuland did that with 14. So
are these people? He's 83, and are these people idiots? Like, how much more money and weapons and things do we need to pour into Ukraine so that they are going to win this war or whatever? How much more? Because all the money, the $350 billion or whatever we put in there now, Russia has only moved the line further into Ukraine. So what are we talking about? There's nobody left to fight.
Far better than anyone ever expected them to.
That's because the expectation was created that Russia was trying to take all of Ukraine and all of Western Europe, which was never true.
Michael, Raytheon has a fiduciary responsibility to its stockholders to make sure that this war continues. One.
I
Two,
understand.
BlackRock has a fiduciary responsibility to its shareholders to make sure this war continues. And the longer it goes on, the cheaper that Ukraine land becomes.
I understand. But Bernie Sanders knows, people like Bernie Sanders know this. So what is he talking about?
He's just playing the game, buddy. All right.
Everyone just playing the game?
Everyone just playing the game.
Yeah, the USAID bot media convinced a lot of people of things that weren't actually true about the conflict between Ukraine and Russia. Like Putin wanted to take over Western Europe or whatever, or that NATO expansion to Russia's doorstep is not an existential threat to Russia. Like, so, and we now know through the USAID Doge stuff that they were funding the US government, and the Blob was funding all this media, which has convinced people of stuff that just isn't true.
Okay. Well, let's talk about vaccines.
A lighter subject.
Well, there's all this talk about a big measles outbreak in West Texas. The local